Hello and good day to you. I hope your day was good today. And if it's your first time here, welcome. Welcome to Soul Awareness. These messages come through to kind of help you through your days, give you food for thought, how to empower yourself, and I hope you enjoy it. I've pulled these cards ahead of time and actually did a little meditation on them and had a lot of insight before I actually come on and talk about them. The reason I do this is because I want to get insight and also connecting the dots a little bit, because most of the time there's a real strong connection between the cards and the message. So we're going to begin. The first card that came out was called Life Force Energy. So it's right here on the left-hand side of your screen. If you look at the image, this is a tarot deck that has a couple extra cards in it, and this is one of those extra cards. And it talks about being connected to this beautiful life force energy. Actually, if I go look, it talks about the world being full of energy. Okay, it's made up of energies. The trees, the water, the animals. Your thoughts and your emotions are made of energy. Too often, though, we focus on thoughts, and those thoughts rule sometimes the heart. If you're feeling bad, then your heart, you start feeling pain and hurt. And that rules a lot of the energy that we actually throw out into the world. The unassuming, beautiful world that surrounds us, such as this ground, the trees, the water, everything about it kind of absorbs it quietly, doesn't it? I like to think that they are here to absorb some of that energy and repurpose it, just clean it out like a filter, like they do our air as well. These unassuming, beautiful nature that is surrounding us, the beautiful nature that surrounds us, right? The life force energy, it's an essence that flows through everything, even though they're not as noisy as us. The trees are not as noisy as us, except when they're falling, of course, but they, generally, it flows through them too. When we're experiencing things in life, we tend to let our life force energy pathways become blocked. It's a thing. It happens. It's nothing, exceptionally rare. It happens, I think, to most of us once, at least twice, many more times in our lives, right? And we can become a little sluggish. And after that, it can bring on a slew of other things. Depression, disease, unhappiness, a general unwell. I feel that the beautiful message that is quite clearly coming through is to stop and look at the essence and the life force energy of things around you. The trees, the water. For me right now, it's snow. I can hear the wind to clearing, making pathways, pushing air around, fresh air, right? It's clearing. I could almost, if I go outside on a windy day, I could almost feel it clearing away my brain. All those corners that are full of dust and cobwebs. And when I picture that, it really helps. So, they want you to remember that it's time to recharge your energy field when you're feeling this way. Honestly, it is time to do that when you're feeling this way. Go back to nature. Nature is the surefire way. I made a few notes, but it's nature, earth, sea, sky. When I look at all of these, what's represented? There's a squirrel, there's a horse, there's animals. reconnected their energy. This almost, it's a high priestess, but it feels like a spa to me. It feels like a pool, right? A beautiful spa of energy, a quiet, calm place to meditate. Water, 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 tree. You've got all of this coming in to connect you. The sky, the beautiful sky. Okay? And these beautiful gifts from the planet will help you process things. They will help you in the pause that I spoke about in yesterday's reading, or the last reading, I should say. It will help you process the pauses that you're taking to try to figure out what's going on. You'll be able to better assess and see. Number 43, the card of assessment, 7. It'll give you time to look to see how you're connected. Okay, so I'm going to tell you just a very quick little story. Here we go. Many, many years ago when I had small children, I found myself going outside one evening because I felt very anxious. You know, bills, one salary, little children. Life seemed so big and painful at the time. I'm not laughing at it. I still remember how anxious I was and how hard everything felt back then. Trying to make ends meet. So I went outside, and it was a very dark night with many, many stars. And I remember just walking up the hill. Near my house, I had a nice little sloped hill, and past that was like the church and cemetery and all that. But before you reached that, you could go up there, and there was no light pollution at all. And the stars were twinkling so brightly in the sky. And I remember looking up and thinking just how small I really was in all of this big, big, big universe. And I started thinking of how small I could make myself in that picture. And I thought probably smaller than the point of a needle. And I kept looking up and looking around. And the more I thought my problems, my little thoughts of, worrying day in, day out, when I had a great family, I had a good family, I had beautiful children, I had a working husband, I had a roof over my head, how insignificant those little problems really were in the grand scheme of this beautiful universe that I was living in, and how my energy that I was putting out day in, day out because of my mindset was actually just not contributing anything good. So I remember just sitting down to the ground, putting both my hands in the grass and thinking of this beautiful planet that was probably a speck of dust in somebody else's viewfinder, like I was looking up at the sky. And thought, our solar system, I would say, because they only see our sun. But I thought, well, I'm going to let this go. I'm going to put it back into the ground. I'm going to let all of this, and I'm going to let this beautiful ball take it away. And I'm going to contribute. I'm going to let it transmute into something better. And I started feeling instantly better. Being connected to the ground, be connected to the sky. It's not that my problems went away. It just, I felt more prepared to take them on. To realize that I wasn't really doing anything by worrying unnecessarily at the moment about things that either I couldn't change or things that hadn't happened yet. I felt very connected to the planet, and I spent years and years and years trying to reconnect slowly, albeit slowly, because of course we take things for granted, right? But now I understand that when I'm really feeling bad, my go-to is the planet. I go out and I reconnect to the ground, the soil. If I can take my shoes off, I do. If I can't, listen to the crunch of snow under my boots. I touch the hibernating trees. I look up at the summer sky, the spring sky, the winter sky, the autumn sky. I breathe in the air from the different times of year, smell what I can smell, see what I can see, and I really connect to the silence, to the quiet, to the beauty of it. And I think that is what they're telling you. There's a healing. There is a way for you to meditate without even trying, and it is with the life force of the planet. The second card we have here is the High Priestess. And like I said, this one has water. This makes me feel like a spa in this card. It makes me feel like tapping into your inner wisdom, to your beauty, to your quiet. It's embodying the energy of the High Priestess. It's connecting to your knowledge that's infinitely available to you. Okay? It can be found within yourself when you are the quietest, when you're meditating. You can visualize, okay? You can tap into your intuitive guidance. And that divine knowledge is always available for you. If you can still your mind, remember, you can do that here. And then you can still your mind. Allow this energy to guide you and support you. Channel insight from the non-physical realm. It's there for you too. Insight, intuitive connection. Call in whatever feels right for you. Then pause and connect, and the answers will become really clear. The next card that we have is the Sun. Again, it's a reflection of the planet. You have the sun, you have the beach, you have the horse, you have the water, you have all of this. Can you feel it? Can you feel the warmth of it? Can you feel the connectedness to the planet? I have an affinity to water. I'm Pisces, so I always go to water. Water is my go-to. Whether it's to soak in it, whether to splash in it, whether it's to watch it. I really love water. I love everything it has to offer. It's cleansing, and I highly suggest it to anybody who needs that kind of cleansing. The Sun is a beautiful card of lightness of being. Okay. It's the kind of energy that comes when you're in the sense of well-being. The world is a really beautiful place when you harness this invigorating sense of well-being. And then you can share it with others as well. Okay? When you radiate from within, your glow becomes contagious. Other people will be attracted to you with it as well. Life will feel good. It won't just be good, because life is generally good. But it will feel good. You'll be able to walk and feel invigorated by it. I feel the Spirit is saying this is an exercise in utilizing the beauty around us, the tools that are offered constantly, sometimes that we completely ignore because we're too busy doing other things. We're too busy worrying about this and that and everything else. The Sun is 19. It also represents 10, the Wheel of Fortune, the cycles that shift, right? The cycles that move forward, that just keep going round and round. The message is clear here. Promoting a sense of well-being to go into the next phase, the next week, and the next month, the next year, in a better mindset. Knowing where to go when you need a lift up, a leg up, a better way of feeling. to connect with all of these together, to be connected, to feel connected to the sun, to the sky, to the sea, to the earth. To have that connectedness that brings you together, all parts of you. Define a connection between you and the planet, and then you and the energy of spirit, and then you and the energy of your physical body. Mind, body, spirit connection. When you only connect to the mind, you're leaving behind some very important things, and you're leaving in space to create conflict. Now, I know that some will probably say that, oh, that's just a distraction to go out and, take a walk. The problems will still be there. It was a distraction for me to go out and look at the stars, but my problems will still be there. Quite possibly, yes. But Spirit says that, they may not seem quite as big or quite as menacing when you're able to shift the energy in a different way. Solutions may come easier. You may be able to breathe in deeper and reset the nervous system so that it's firing more endorphins to help you find solutions. That's important too. Do you realize when we get anxious, we breathe shallowly? We don't take in deep breaths. We go into fight or flight mode, which causes stress, which, by the way, is, I remember being told, is the #1 killer. Because stress causes problems neurologically, heart-wise, every-wise. We're not meant to be living in a constant state of stress. It's an ebb and a flow. Life is supposed to be ebb and flow. And some people say, well, we shouldn't always, shouldn't always say that it's going to be problems and stuff. Don't call them problems. Call them challenges. Every day, life represents challenges. What socks am I going to put on? What am I going to have for breakfast? What am I going to do? Every day we have challenges. If you see even the things you consider problems as challenges, such as what to decide to eat. How am I going to solve this? And take the appropriate steps, whatever you can do at the moment. Wherever you can reach out, what are the next steps? I always tell people this one that might help you as well. If you're suddenly in the throes of a problem you feel you can't solve, or you feel stuck in your own problem, one of the best things that I can recommend to you is pretending that that problem belonged to a friend or somebody else, that it's not yours. You ever notice that it's easier to solve your other people's problems than your own? Try doing that. That always helped me for the longest time. Because sometimes you will give the advice to people that you really don't want to hear yourself, right? Sometimes there is solutions, but you just don't want to hear those solutions. But sometimes there's a way to deal with those solutions as well. If the person you were giving a solution to says, I don't like that solution, you say, well, maybe if you look at it from this way. Maybe if you sneak up from it to it behind, it will work out better that way. Whatever. Do you understand? The next card that came in was the lightness. Again, reflecting a lot of water. There's water in earth and water, tree and water. Beautiful. Both being represented very, very a lot in these cards. May the light lift you to the surface. Again, reference to the sun, right? Our natural inclination, if you've ever gone, if you're a swimmer and you go in water, if you're swimming up, what do you look for? You look for the light. You know to swim up. Most people do. The same thing applies in your life. We look for the light. The problem that I'm being shown, though, is that we don't utilize all the tools that are available to us. We don't think they're tools. We think it's our environment. That's the problem. Only do you, when you go on vacation somewhere and you stand by the shores of a sea, or you go camping and you're in the forest, do you go, this is my happy place. Guess what? You can drive out to somewhere. You can find plants, greenhouses, places to go, things to be, and you can find a happy place. It's not mysterious. It doesn't only happen on holiday. You adopt a mindset, and then you put it in play. Go somewhere and find nature and call it your little moment of vacation, your little peaceful, happy place. And you will feel the flood of come into you. The lightness of being. You will float up to the surface towards the light, where your body is flowing in the water, and you're breathing in the air above the water and letting the sun hit your head. You're going to be in complete balance with your environment. Maybe I should have called this reading Finding Nature Again. Maybe I will. Next up is Let Your Ship Set Sail. I feel like that's kind of like what's happening in the aftermath, right? And these waters don't look very calm or quiet. They look kind of turbulent and interesting. But look at the beautiful sky. Look at the purples. Look at the purples in this card. It's just simply gorgeous. I feel that it's saying to point yourself in the nourishing direction that you need to obtain a better mindset, a better state of being. Go in the direction you need. Assess the places and the things that will make you feel happy. Okay? I used to love swimming, going to a pool and having a swim. I used to love floating on my back and having hearing deprivation, having your ears underwater. Well, I can't do that much anymore. My ears block up real bad, but it always felt so nice to look up. If I could do it outside, it was wonderful, look up at the sky. But even then, sometimes I would close my eyes. But I'm a floater. I float in water, so it was great for me. But there's other things you can do. A hammock. Even in winter, I have one of those inside hammocks that I bought that has the support. And on a sunny day, I will find a sunny window and put that hammock there and just kind of swing and let the sun heat up my skin, even in the middle of winter. The sun kissing my skin. Like I said, the path in the autumn is beautiful. This makes me feel autumny. Crunching the leaves and then crunching the snow after that. Going to the sea. I went to the sea for the first time in March of 2013. It was a brilliantly beautiful experience. Every single time I do these things, my spirit takes flight. My heart opens up. Even spaces where I do meditation, my heart takes flight. My breathing eases. This is a connection between you and your peaceful, wonderful spaces. This should be your go-to place to nourish yourself, take care of yourself, to set sail in the right direction, so that whatever life throws at you, you can look up at the sky and want to contribute good energy to the planet again, right? When you look at a tree and how beautiful, majestic, and quiet and strong it is, you can pull that strength from it and take it within you. When you see the crashing sea or the calm sea, you can feel the power in the water or the utter calmness of it. When you look up at the sun, you feel the power of it to heat the planet. And the way that it shines a light makes you feel lighthearted. Be connected to the planet again. Take the time it takes to connect to this beautiful round ball that is your home right now. Not only to save it, not only to, protest about it, to actually just enjoy it, to stay in touch with it. Thank you so much for coming and listening. I hope that you've gotten a lot from these beautiful soul readings that I'm bringing. Invite your friends. I would love to see more of you. Please comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think of these. Give me your experiences with nature and what that meant to you. Did you have times where you felt really connected? Are you putting those things together? Were they when you were on vacation? Did you realize you could do it now? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Anything at all. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next reading. Love, light, and blessings. Bye for now.